I'm here with Juan, who is a missionary who has been serving in what we know as Central Asia, which includes the countries of Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan. Which of those countries were you in?
I was in Kyrgyzstan.
In Kyrgyzstan. Now, what were you doing in Kyrgyzstan?
Well, I was working as an assistant publishing director and as a marketing director.
A marketing director.
That's
So,
right.
what were you marketing?
You know, the Kyrgyzstan, as we all know, is a Islamic territory, and my duty was to try for the first time to introduce our health book in many bookstores, in business places, in hotel, anywhere that they could accept to sell our books.
So, you were marketing health books.
Yes,
which
health
is, one of the wonderful things that the Adventist Church has
That's
is a health
correct, that's
message.
correct.
So how long were you there?
Well, we were in Kyrgyzstan for 3.5 years.
3.5 years.
Yes.
Now, this leads to the question of where did you come from?
Well, I was born in Cuba.
In Cuba.
Studied in Jamaica and lived for more than 18 years in Jamaica, and then I moved to the U.S. and started to work as an evangelist in different conferences. I attended Andrews University, I graduated, and then I made the choice to work as a missionary.
Okay, so why did you want to go as a missionary?
That was
what
my
motivated?
passion since I was young. I always wanted to be a missionary, to travel the world, to share the good news of salvation, to let people know that God still reigns in our life.
Now, do you know, are there any other, or have there been any other missionaries from Cuba? I'm pretty sure
Well,
not in recent years.
No. Actually, I was told by the General Conference that I am the first missionary in Central Asia and Islamic territory from Cuba.
Okay. So, now were you raised an Adventist? And how did you get from Cuba to the mission field?
Well, I was born in a Catholic family. My mother was Catholic, my father, my siblings, they were Catholic. And after I met a young person from the Seventh-day Adventist Church, he preached to me while traveling on the train. And from that day, I made the decision to study the Bible, to give my life to God, and to start a new life in Christ,
Okay. And then from there you went and studied in Jamaica.
Well, after that, I was baptized into the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I became the lay activity leader, champion in my country. And then after that, I started to feel the call, to do more for God, to be passionate about God. And then I wanted to study to be a pastor, but the opportunity presented itself in Jamaica. So I moved to Jamaica, I studied another Caribbean university, I graduated, and after that I worked as a pastor for a few years in Jamaica, and I decided to come to the US to do my master. And then I stayed here, and after I graduated from Andrews University, I received the invitation to work in Central Asia.
And that passion for mission was still in your heart.
That passion was awoken. When I got the invitation, it's like I wanted just to be there, just from the moment they called me, and I had to wait to do all the medicals and all of that. And when I got into the field, I say, now I am really in my domain, in something that I was passionate about,
Right. So then, what kind of reception did you get to the health books in
Well, at the beginning, it was difficult because, they were not acquainted with our health book. They didn't know about that. And an incident happened that really changed everything. We believe that all things work together for good to those who love the Lord,
Yes.
right? I was trying to introduce during months our book in bookstore, in the libraries, in schools, anywhere I could get somebody to take our book and sell it, but everybody closed the door. And that day I went to the store to present the book, and I was with a translator because I didn't speak the language. I was new in the territory. And she was a young lady, and when we went into the store to introduce the book, the lady was reluctant, but then two young men came, and they asked me to go with them to a meeting that the imams were having. And the lady said to me, don't go. But they pressured her and they pressured me to go. So I went over there, and when I got into the place, these imam, they were sitting in the floor with a lot of food, tea, fruit, and I sat because they invited me to eat, and they asked me what I was doing in Kyrgyzstan. If I was an American, I said, no, I am not an American. They said, yes, you are an American. I said, no, I am from Cuba. So as soon as they hear that I was from Cuba, they asked me what was the name of the president of Cuba. So I told them the name of the president of Cuba, and they said, no, it's Fidel Castro. I said, no, Fidel Castro died many years ago. And then they asked me for Fidel's brother. I said, Raúl Castro. And then they say, yes, he's from Cuba. And then eventually they said to me, what are you doing? I said, listen, I am promoting healthy books, so that the Islamic people could serve Allah in the mightiest of their fitness, So I gave them the healing power of food. And when he opened it, God worked it out in such a way that he opened the page that talk about not eating pork, and about the sickness that we could get by eating pork and so forth. And they start to move their head like, wow, they were in agreement. And they passed the book to each other. And I was scared because I said, what information they may be reading right there. And in my fear, I was about to pull another book to distract them. And he said, no, it's not necessary. And then he said, you know what? He pulled a piece of paper, he stamped a sign on it, and he signed it, a stamp on it, and he signed it. And he said, anywhere you go, if they don't treat you right, just show them this sign and this stamp. I am the leader of the Imam here in Kyrgyzstan. And that stamp and that signature opened the door for me to put our Adventist health book in more than 38 places. I put it in hotels, restaurant, library, university, and opened the door for us to do seminary in the mall, in the huge mall that they have in Kyrgyzstan. Even in many universities, they opened the door for us to do expo about health. And we presented the program, I Want to Live Healthy. And it was a huge, huge new impact in the country.
Wonderful. That's an incredible story, Juan. Thank you so much for sharing that, for being with us. And it's wonderful to see how God has led your mission work.
Thank you for inviting me.